Hello, lovely people of YouTube. This is part 2 of my birthday special. This time I am playing Mortal Kombat on the Sega Master System. So the reason I'm doing these special birthday streams is because my birthday is an interesting one. Because not only was I born into this world, the amazing Johnny Nagel. I'm only joking. But this was the day where I got my very first video game console, the Sega Master System, and I played two of my very first video games. One of them being Sonic the Hedgehog, which I played earlier on this morning, and the second is Mortal Kombat. So every year on my birthday, I always celebrate the origins of gaming for me. So I always turn on the Sega Master System and play these two games, which is what I will do right now. So let's get this started. I don't want to be Sonya. I don't want to be Sonya. Reset. Oh, no. Here we go. So my regular subscribers, supporters, viewers would be used to me playing Mortal Kombat XL on the PlayStation 4. So this is going to be very interesting for them because they're going to get to see the very first Mortal Kombat game on the Sega Master System. So this looks a little bit different to Mortal Kombat XL, to say the very least, because this is on Sega Master System, and it is the very first Mortal Kombat game. So this is where it all began, really. Raiden, are you ready? Yeah, I think Raiden is ready. Raiden is ready. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go with Scorpion, and I'm going to try to remember I'll go medium. Why not? I'm going to try to remember just Sang Sung the boss. He's right-hand man Goro, and all the rest of the combatants. I'm going to try to remember Scorpion's spear. I actually don't know. Oh, here we go. Get over here. So you can see this game is probably different to Mortal Kombat XL. I should also again point out that I'm playing this on the Sega Master System. So, very first Mortal Kombat game appeared on consoles like the Sega Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo. But this is the Sega Master System version, so that's Sega Mega Drive version would obviously look better than this. But for me, this was the very first Mortal Kombat game that I played, because my very first console. Hello, Hamino Games. Welcome back to my very special birthday stream, where I'm not only celebrating my birth, but celebrating the birth of gaming for me, playing my very first video game console, Sega Master System, and playing one of my very first video games, Mortal Kombat. So early on, you got to see me play Sonic, which was technically the very first video game I played. But Mortal Kombat is second. Two infamous rivals here, Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I wonder, can I get that special? Oh no, not gonna work, is it? Apparently, if you get two flawless victories on the stage, you can perform the stage fatality. I think, like if you do an uppercut. Instead of falling on the floor, he'll actually fall. He'll fall off this pit onto spikes. So it's really funny, right? My two first video games, if that makes sense, two of the first video games I played, Sonic and Mortal Kombat, they were both played on Sega Master System, right? And as you know, the Sega Master System was the very first console I ever played. So then I got the Sega Mega Drive, right? And I bought the same two games. I bought Sonic the Hedgehog and Mortal Kombat. I mean, back then, a very young child, didn't quite understand, the ins and outs of video game development and whatnot. So I just presumed that Sonic that I was playing on Sega Mega Drive was actually the next Sonic game. And I thought that Mortal Kombat that I played, actually, sorry, correction, it was actually Mortal Kombat 2 that I had on Sega Mega Drive. I actually originally never had the original Sega Mega Drive Mortal Kombat game, sorry. But when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog, anyway, I just presumed, because I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog on the console that came out after Sega Master System, I presumed I was playing a new Sonic, where the reality was, the Sega Master System is like the inferior version, basically. You wouldn't see much of that happening now. Like, you wouldn't see Warner Bros. Like, let's say the PS5 comes out 2020, okay? New Mortal Kombat game comes out. Like, chances are you're not really going to see Warner Bros. Releasing Mortal Kombat on PS4. Then again, they might though. But what I'm trying to say basically is this: like, Injustice 2, to my knowledge, it didn't get released on PS3, did it? That's what I'm basically trying to say. Oh, this is actually another infamous rivalry, made famous in the Mortal Kombat movie. Scorpion and Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage. He's got a great name, doesn't he? Johnny. You know what? I'm actually doing quite well considering I'm actually playing on a medium. You know, it's actually very hard to pull off the button inputs. I think all my Mortal Kombat XL practice is paying off here. So this is where it all began for me. This is where gaming as a hobby began for me. Back on the Sega Master System with Mortal Kombat, early 90s. I would have been like a 4 or 5-year-old kid. Just arrived into this world. You know what I mean? My whole life ahead of me. And this is where I was introduced to the hobby of gaming, which became a huge part of my life and remains a huge part of my life to this day. This is where all of the gameplay mechanics were introduced to me. This was technically the first fighting game that I ever played. Played many fighting games after that. Oh, who's this? Liu Kang. I think Ed Boon would be proud of me right now. I'm playing this on medium and I'm handling myself. Well, I was handling myself now at least. Okay. Oh, I'm still in the game. Come on. Oh, boom, yeah. Oh, oh, I got him. Obviously, Mortal Kombat has come a long way since the original version, especially the Sega Master System version. I mean, we're talking like just, oh my god, just the amount of detail on the characters, costumes, their facial animations, even the bruises that they sustain, the background, the level of detail in the background. Basically, I'm talking about the graphics here. The visuals of Mortal Kombat have vastly increased over the years. And just consoles as well. I mean, compare this right now to the PS4 in terms of what it can do, in terms of how it looks. Just amazing to see how far gaming has come. I always use Nintendo consoles actually as an example of how far gaming has come. Now I can already hear and see people's reactions. Nintendo? You mean the company who has inferior specs? I'm not talking about graphics alone here. I'm talking about gameplay and how consoles have changed how we actually play games, right? And the Switch allows me... Oh, Scorpion. Get out of here. Allows me to play my games anywhere, anytime. When I was playing Sega Master System as a 4-year-old kid, I had to come home. I had to come home and connect my console up to my TV, and that was the only way and anywhere and place I could actually play my console. Whereas with the Switch, I can head out into town, do a bit of shopping, pop into Subway, take out my Switch, and do some gaming. That. Hey, how the hell did they get me? Stop glitching, Scorpion. Oh shit. My first loss. Huh? Okay, I'm still in the game though. No pun intended. Yeah, how's like that, Scorpion? There's only room for one Scorpion in this town. That is Greenhorn Gaming. Which is coming back very, very soon, by the way. I want to take this opportunity to give a big massive shout out to Prochronics Vlogs. I know Prochronics Vlogs is looking forward to the official return of Greenhorn Gaming. That will be very, very soon. Shout out as well to L4 Electricity Kid and Epic Kid. Ooh, man, what a show. Oh, I'm dead. First loss. Shout out to Hamino Games as well. Shout out to how the hell is the game over? Wait, do I get to actually try again? Oh yeah. Thought it was game over as in game over. It's the second time that the game trolled me this morning. First was Sonic and I thought it was game over, but it actually wasn't game over. Do you know what I mean? So I'm fighting in Goro's lair right now. And here is my dad, I think. This is going to be... Oh, actually, let me just pause this. Sorry, that was that. I'm back. I thought that was my dad, but it was actually a Jehovah's Witness. How random is that? Jehovah's Witnesses calling the people's doors on a Saturday morning. Man. How random is that? I've been meaning to do this for a long time, but I don't know if anybody's aware of the comedy show Mrs. Brown's Boys. Well, there's an episode where these two, actually they're Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, they're all the same. With a knocked at her door anyway. And instead of the usual reply, like where you just kind of like say, sorry, I gotta go, close the door. She actually brings them in. She actually wrecks their hate to the point where they want to leave. I think that's actually TV genius right there, like she's sitting there and she's like, 3 wise men said I got fucking lost. I just thought it was funny. But yeah, I've been meaning to do that for a long time now. Scorpion. Get out of here. Damn it. Got him. I've actually done quite well. I've only lost once. And I'm playing this on medium as well. Play this on medium. But these are the hard ones. These are the endurance matches. I think there's 3 of them now because I've done medium. Basically, you have to fight 2 characters, 2 fighters at once. Well, not at once, like, but one after the other, basically. So I gotta make sure that my health is high enough. Okay, in the interest of my battery and in the interest of time, I'm gonna make this fight the last video because there's nothing really else to kind of show. I mean, this is Mortal Kombat. This is what it looked like back in the early 90s on Sega Master System. One of my first video games on my first video game console, the Sega Master System. Technically, if anyone is actually looking at it, I don't know if you can see it on the far right. It's technically a Sega Master System 2, but not in the way that modern gamers would think of it. It isn't like the PS3 or the PS4. It's back then they released kind of like updated models where they might kind of like briefly update things inside the actual console or the actual design of it. But it's not like the next console or anything like that, you know. It was just called Sega Master System 2 because it was the newest model. It's a little bit like when well, actually no, it isn't like when a new phone comes out, a new update comes out. But that was it. This was Mortal Kombat on the Sega Master System. One of my first ever video games on my first ever video game console. Played a lot of Mortal Kombat games after this across many consoles. including the original Sega Mega Drive version on Sega Mega Drive. Played Mortal Kombat Trilogy on Nintendo 64. Mortal Kombat 4 on PlayStation 1. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Deception and Armageddon on PS2. Mortal Kombat Reboot on PS3. I even played some Mortal Kombat games on the DS as well, just across multiple platforms. I even played Mortal Kombat Armageddon on the Wii using motion control. How crazy is that? And I'm hoping, Ed Boon, if you're listening to this, Warner Bros., if you're listening to this, NetherRealm Studios, if you're listening to this, Nintendo, if you're listening to this, bring Mortal Kombat to the Nintendo Switch. I mean, you're waiting for that. But yeah, I've played many Mortal Kombat games over the years. I've seen the game develop in terms of its story, in terms of its visuals. Everything about that game has progressed over the years. Consoles have progressed over the years. So it's been an amazing journey. So I hope everyone who watched enjoyed. Stay tuned for the return of Green Herb Gaming very, very soon. And once again, big shout out to my lovely supporters and subscribers and viewers, including Pro Chronics Vlogs, L4, Electricity Kid, Epic Kid 23, Hamino Games, DLA, Eden, Mindpix Gaming, Hamino Games, and just everyone else, all of my amazing supporters. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.